Monkey Man, Monkey Man, Monkey Man, Monkey Man! Monkey. Yeah.
I don't know.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Charming Analysis podcast. I'm Mari.
I'm Jay.
And today we are going to be talking about the new movie Monkey Man, as the title suggests.
Yes.
But yeah, this movie came out a few days ago and me and Jay went to go see it today. So we decided, hey, why not do a podcast about it? Because honestly, it's really fucking good. In my opinion. But you ready to get started?
Yes.
So why don't you explain what Monkey Man is about for those who don't know?
Well, it is a revenge story, and it's a revenge story pretty much about this guy whose family member got tragically murdered, so he wants to
Basically get revenge.
He wants to get revenge on the guy who murdered, like, his
family member.
Mom.
His mom?
Yeah, his mom and the high-ranking officials that let it happen. That's
basically the gist of it.
Yeah, that's the gist of it.
It's kind of like an Indian version of John Wick, honestly. Which, fun fact, John Wick's technically a fictional character in this universe.
Yes. Which I think is really funny.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very funny. Wait, I think it's Warner Brothers. But aren't they also owned by Universal? Who owns John Wick?
It's a good question. I'm going to look it up.
Who owns John Wick? Because Universal did this movie. Or no, not Universal did this. Who did this movie?
Oh, look.
Universal
So
did this
John
movie.
Wick...
I'm sorry. I'm asking so many questions.
John Wick's production is Lionsgate.
Oh, Lionsgate.
While Monkey Man...
is Universal / Monkey Paw Productions.
Yeah, Monkey Paw Productions. So...
Okay.
But yeah, so let's go over our thoughts. What did you think of Monkey Man?
I was initially very, hyped to see this movie because I'm always hyped to see, revenge action films.
Yeah.
I don't care what they fall under. If it's, a revenge action film, I'd love to see that type of stuff. And, it did give me that. I will say that for a directorial debut, I think it's very impressive, and I think the amount of times, the amount of effort that it took in this film is very impressive. I don't know if it's going to. I definitely don't know if it's going to speak to everybody. I had more of a problem with it as a film, the technical aspects of it than anything having to do with
the actual story,
the emotion of it all. I thought the emotion of it was pretty strong. I just don't
You don't like the camera
I've
work.
been spoiled by a lot of action films,
so seeing something from this kind of perspective is different, right?
yes, but I feel like it will speak more to people who will have a more emotional connection to it. It has definitely a lot of fucking reverence. I mean, goddamn, India's just
got all kinds of interesting
everywhere
culture
in this fucking movie. This is an Indian movie.
Yeah, it is a very beautifully done movie.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question about it. It's just when it comes to, the main crux of the movie, which is what mainly people are going to go see, is the action. I think people are going to be, more... I think, if you're just looking for an action film, I think it's going to be...
a pretty good action film.
I think it's lackluster in that area, to be honest.
It's kind of like a mix between, I compared before, John Wick, but it's also kind of giving, Karate Kid vibes.
It's giving those, Korean,
action movies, like
Korean
Bruce Lee
action
and stuff. So it's like Bruce Lee, John Wick, and Karate Kid kind of all had a fucking baby. in a sense, is what this movie gives. Because personally, I really liked this movie. I thought it was fantastic. I will say this, though. My only issue, really, with this movie is the fucking camera work, which I will agree with you on. It does need some work. It does need work. But other than that, I thought it told a beautiful story. I liked the build-up for the action, though. And we are going to get into spoilers with this. Just a heads up.
Yeah, it did tell an emotionally good story. I just don't know how much of it that I
are gonna remember.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Am I going to remember this more than other action films? I don't think I will.
Personally, I will.
I fear that I'm gonna forget it, but I'm not gonna forget what it's done.
The experience and stuff.
What it's doing. I think film is a universal thing. Anybody can make a film about anything. And
I also like that the same guy. Sorry.
Well, I'm happy that he was able to tell, the story that he wanted to tell.
Yeah.
I'm happy. This actor who he's acted in one of my favorite films, actually, Lion. And
I think I remember you mentioning that.
He is super, super fucking strong in that movie. Goddamn. But
have we seen that?
Yes, I've seen it.
Have I seen it? I think you showed me
I showed it to you, but you couldn't understand it because I got the one with no subtitles.
I remember watching it, though. Personally, for me, compared to Lion, I think this is his better role, in my opinion. But this is my favorite movie from him.
It's a better role because he literally is they literally got every single age range to play him. You see him in the span of however long that movie takes. I think 40 years. They got 5 actors to play the character. So
for 40 years of age for the character. Because
yes.
This movie is 2 hours, just so you guys know. This is a 2-hour-long movie. And literally when we went to the theater, originally I didn't want to go see this movie, but then Jay showed me the trailer and I was like, okay, fine, we'll go fucking watch it. The trailer literally is the thing that convinced me to fucking go see this movie.
Yeah, that trailer was great.
Whoever did the fucking trailer, props to you. They made the best fucking trailer.
Yeah, they did.
Honestly.
Really did.
And that's one of the reasons I also like this movie. This movie, in my opinion, is really fucking good. I like the story elements to it. Also, getting to see this on the big screen was also amazing. Mm-hmm. I had fucking chills for the whole thing. And stuff like that. My favorite scene, or the one that had, the most, I guess, impact, was when the main character was basically learning how to hit a punching bag with his fists and stuff like that, and there was a drummer guy that was kind of showing him, hey, do it like this, use my beats.
Drummer lady.
Drummer lady? Oh, I thought it was a man.
It was a temple of transgender people.
Oh, I actually did not know that. But yeah, there is. I didn't know if it was those guys or somebody else that was. I know there is a lot of transgender representation in this, which I think is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
But I'll just say the drummer person, just to make it easier on myself. The drummer person basically was, in a way, telling the main character, hey, use my drums to punch the bag, basically. Use the rhythm of these drums to punch the bag. And that entire fucking scene, I was on the edge of my seat. It gave me fucking chills. I was so hyped. It was so good. That was one of my favorite fucking scenes in the entire movie. What do you think, honey? Was that one of your favorites?
I really liked that. I really liked that scene. I I don't know. Maybe because I just like music. The music in here,
also really good.
I actually really love the music. I might go look up the soundtrack later because, damn, I really fucking love the music. That's the thing about it. It's I like the culture around it. I like the journey that they have to take. I think in term there is not there's way too much flashbacks to him with his past. this film is.
It does a great amount of it.
Yeah, this film is told. What's the word? It's not chronologically. It's
It's kind of a little bit all over the place.
Of that.
It's all over the place.
It's very how would I say this?
Sorry, I swallowed spit. My bad.
How would I say this? It's not told in any chronological order. It's like flashback, present, flashback, present, flashback, present.
It's basically kind of reminiscing on his past.
Yes,
but not in like the best way.
But I feel like it kind of takes away from some, like, I feel like it kind of takes away from some of the like present
action
day like storytelling that you got going on here. I feel like whenever somebody like does like a flashback sequence, I feel like you really got to like work in order to make this flashback sequence work, because if not, then it pretty much is like you couldn't get that from like, you know, context clues or anything like that. It just it happens way too much in this movie to me. I feel like if maybe it was told in a more linear like storytelling way, maybe it could have been told better. But you know, that's just, you know, I guess that's just how like I always like whenever I'm like criticizing like a flashback scene, I'm more criticizing like, does it need to be there in a way, like in the scene in general, like does it play good with when I watch this whole movie in full? To me, it does not. I will also say that the camera work again, like
it needs work.
I really did not feel the action at all until like maybe the final sequence. Probably only in the kitchen scene. That's
when you start to feel like,
yeah, that is. But I feel like, that's like at the final head. That's the final fight of the movie, or not the final fight.
The final like action scene.
That's the final action scene in the movie, and I'm like, I should not be feeling like this. And I feel like when people see the movie, they will understand that the camera is literally quick shot and out of focus for most of the action. And I'm like,
it kind of depends on the angle you're doing it at. Like for the beginning, I think it's supposed to kind of be like a first person kind of like thing for like the first half, because you're getting like his perspective of him basically finding out that where he's at, some of the people that at the place he's working at basically were the people that killed his mom. So when he finds out about that, he's kind of like, okay, well, I need to get revenge on them, but how am I going to do it? The first time he fucking fights them, he basically gets his ass whooped, like, really bad, to the point, like, he almost fucking died. Like, that's how bad it was. And, like...
And maybe if... well, this... I was like, yeah, he almost died, and he, like, you know, came back again with a vengeance through his whole, like, you must learn the ways of the monkey man technique, and stuff like that. But
I also liked a lot of I also liked the wrestling scenes in this. They were actually really good. Like, the wrestling scenes were definitely good. It's so hard
to talk about this movie for me, because it's like, I have more, like...
Technical issues.
And issues with it. And I have more, like... I can't really rank it as like, you know, much as I wanted to, because I was just like... I went in for, like, you know, I wanted to be, like, you know, a great experience, and instead I just got an okay experience.
Personally, I thought it was a great one.
Yeah.
But something I will say, though, can we all agree that Dev Patel is very handsome? I didn't know who he was at first, and then when Jay showed me a picture, I'm like, good Lord, he's handsome. Not as handsome as my bean, but very handsome. And I was like, damn. I had gender envy for this fucking man during the fucking movie. I was like, shit, this man's so gender. Honestly. Also, I will say this. I'm actually looking up the budget for the movie. Guess how much the budget is?
30 million.
10 million.
10 million.
10 million for this movie.
That's what they say. Like, why don't you make 20 $10 million movies instead of just one $200 million movie?
This movie had a $10 million budget. And I think that's honest. For the amount of stuff we saw, honestly, I thought it was going to be higher than that.
Although, it does not shock me that it has that budget. Because you only get like a few locations.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are like close-up shots of the people's face.
Which I can understand.
In the stock footage, so...
Also, don't forget that this is his first directorial debut. So...
Literally, I've been mentioning that for the entire...
But yeah, like, it's the... Like, for a first time, I think it's pretty good for a first time. Like, there is some work that needs to be done, definitely with the camera work. It needs a bit of work. But other than, like, a few shots here and there that were just, like, a bit blurry...
You say that it's better than John Wick, but you've only seen the first one.
Look, I've only seen the first one.
Like, you say that it's action better than John Wick. You need to hold off on that real quick, though.
Until I see the other ones?
Yeah, you need to hold off
But
on
as
that.
of right now, who knows? My opinion may change when I watch the rest of the John Wick movies with my bean. But at least for the first one that I have seen, I do think this is better than the first John Wick. Definitely, in my opinion.
It is better than the first John Wick. I will give you that.
I will say that.
And John Wick was also made on a very microscopic budget as well.
How much was their budget? I need to look.
I'm assuming. Don't quote me on that. If it's like over 100 million, I'll take back my statement. But
came out 2014.
Yes.
86 million.
86.
So
okay, yeah, it does look better in comparison to the first John Wick movie.
Honestly, because
but I feel like over time the series handles its I feel like it handles its budget a lot more because they go all around the fucking world by that point, and I'm like,
I get that.
Goddamn.
But
okay.
At least compared to the first movie, which I have seen, eventually we will.
I like that there is not really a distinction of this is just John Wick but with an Indian man. They let you know, no, this is not John Wick with an Indian man.
John Wick's fiction in this.
It's John Wick is fiction. This is going to be a real life brutal telling of it. I'm like, okay, that's...
I honestly thought that was fucking hilarious. I was like, that's the first thing I said. This kind of gives me John Wick vibes. And they're like, oh, by the way, John Wick's a fictional character here. And I'm like, well, dang, they already pointed that out. Thank you.
I know.
But, honestly, I loved this movie. I can't get enough of the drumming scene. Oh, my gosh. And just the fantastic transgender representation we get, I thought was fucking fantastic.
Yes.
And especially for, Indian culture.
This is also going to be what the movie's known for, is having, part of their culture, which is a lot of trans individuals who I know are named I know in the same way that they it's more of a spiritual thing for them for being transgender and stuff like that.
But I still think it's great representation.
Yeah,
I think they did a fantastic job with that, and that's one of the things I found out about before watching the movie. I was like, okay, I hear this. Let's see how good it is. And I was not disappointed. Mm-hmm. Honestly, that was so fucking good. So, I will say this, though. The ending fucking got me. The ending. Can we talk about the ending? Can we talk about the ending?
Talk about the ending.
First off, I don't know if it was just me or just the way that the actor's face looked. Am I the only one that thought one of the actors looked like Barack Obama but with hair?
No, you're the only one who thought that.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You're the only one who thought that.
Anyway, first thing I need to point out. Second thing I need to point out. The final, section of this movie, Dev Patel's actor, walked into, I guess, is that a prophet? Or... Yeah,
he's
a prophet?
Prophet.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I was saying it right.
That, took land from
his people.
Yeah, from all his people and stuff like
I will say this, though. The Prophet... Oh my gosh, there was one thing that fucking bugged me, and I don't know if this was just... I made a joke about it with Jay when we were watching it in the movie.
He looked like Obama?
No, not that part.
Okay.
The part where, like, he's, like, talking to the guy and his foot's in the fucking water, and like, I literally said, put them grippers away. Like, he showed his fucking foot to the camera. Like, it was the most out-of-pocket thing in this entire movie. The guy's, like, talking like this... And I'm like, he's sitting, and his feet are like dangling in like the water, like he's washing his feet or something like that. And then like all of a sudden he puts his foot up, and I'm just like, why the fuck is he showing me his foot? Put them grippers away. Like, that was so weird. I don't know if it was just like an intentional thing, but that
was very funny.
That was fucking hilarious. But I was more just like, why did they do that? And like the second thing. The fact that this guy stabbed the fucking Dev Patel's actor, like, they stabbed him. I think it was in the stomach or something. I think. And then, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, please tell me this man does not die. Please tell me that's not the end.
Well, you never know.
And then after that, Dev Patel's actor stabbed the guy in the head. Like, this was brutal. I actually saw... I looked at the rating. This is technically rated R, which I can also see.
Yeah.
But, like, this man got fucking brutal. Like, I think, in my opinion, he did a lot more gore compared to John Wick in the first movie, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Like, there was way more blood in this movie. But,
I guess you could... I'm trying to think, like, is there actually... I guess...
At least from what I remember, I don't know if it's...
Well, John Wick isn't really about, like, blood and gore.
I know, but...
You know what this kind of reminded me of a little bit?
Yeah, what?
It kind of reminded me a little bit of Hardcore Henry.
Honestly, there were some kind of scenes that did remind me of it.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Hardcore Henry, and I'm like... Maybe that's why I don't really remember Hardcore Henry. Yeah. Or maybe, I don't know. I mean, I consider Hardcore Henry fine. It's kind of like, you know, reminded me more about that. But even though, like, I could see the value of it. I see the value of it. It's just, you know, not for me. And I'm sure there's, like, better Indian action films out there.
Yeah. Also, I will say this, though, and this also got me, this pissed me off. Like, the end, like, when, after he kills the guy, he literally stands up and then he fucking falls out of the camera frame. And I'm like, I'm actually looking it up right now to see if he technically died, in quotes. I don't know if he technically did. But, so basically this thing says what happens at the end of Monkey Man. So basically at the end, from what this is giving me, he basically avenged his mother's murder. He gains ultimate peace, but ultimately falls down to the ground due to his severe injury. So I don't know. It doesn't specifically say he died, but I'm not going to lie. When I looked in, like, when I saw that part, I'm like, please tell me he didn't die. And then the credits started, and I was like, no!
No, now you'll never know.
So I will say this, though. Something I will say. I would honestly love if they made more movies for this guy. I would love to see more movies with Monkey Man. I thought this was...
It's already done.
It doesn't even have to be about him, though. Like, it doesn't even have to be about him. It could be like... Here's my thoughts, okay? Here's my thoughts.
Oh,
If they make this a franchise, which I would love to see it, more movies for this. If they're going to do it, it should be like an anthology. But they're all connected in some kind of way. Like an anthology. Come on, that would be good!
Why can't a movie just be a movie?
Do you want to know how many times of there has been, oh, let's let a movie be a movie, and then like several years later, oh, there's a sequel!
Yeah, we don't need it. We don't need it. We really don't need it. Especially with this one. It's fine.
I would love to see more like this. I would like to see more. I'm guessing that's a no for more movies for them.
Like, maybe he'll go on and make more movies, maybe. I mean, this is already doing really fucking, like, you know, critical like darling right now. So
it's like so fucking good, and I'm so happy I got to see this. So I'm gonna give my rating first, and then you can give yours. Do you have anything else to say before we do?
It's a good movie. I have no question about that. I've just been spoiled by too many other action movies that have given me like more action and I don't want to say more culture, but
this definitely has a lot better culture in my opinion.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does.
It's a lot more deep in the Indian culture, and I think it's great.
Yes, and I think it's great. I'm just saying that
they could have built up the action a bit more. But I kind of liked the gradual, like, action kind of thing with it. This I liked. It was like a gradual thing. I thought that was great. Instead of just going full force into it, I liked they kind of built it up. It's like a slow burn, in my opinion. Or
my
like
relationship with movies is very, like...
You have a weird relationship with movies sometimes that I'm more just like, honey, where's your brain at for half of these?
I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it again and maybe I'll totally rethink it. You never know. I could always watch a movie and think very wrong. I can like be like, I love this movie or I hate it even more. It doesn't matter.
I get it. I was just curious.
That's why watch movies again.
Okay. For me, I really liked this movie. Despite it having some weird camera angles at some points, I do think this is a pretty great movie. And honestly, I would recommend this if you're interested in learning about Indian culture, or like if you like the vibe of John Wick but want like a more bloodier version of it, like the first movie. Okay, I'm comparing it to the first movie because that's all I've seen. Mm-hmm. Personally, for me, if you weren't that big on John Wick, but you
John Wick, like I will say though, John Wick can get pretty fucking brutal. I will say.
I'm just comparing it to the first movie.
Yeah.
If you liked the first movie for John Wick, but you wished it was bloodier and a lot more gutsy and gruesome, this is probably your take, or this is probably a better option in my opinion, because I liked this better than the first John Wick. I haven't seen the others, but eventually we will review them. I'm just talking about the first one that I have actually seen.
Yeah.
But I personally think this is a lot better than the first John Wick. You'd probably like this a lot. I personally liked it. I would totally watch this again, and I recommend it to people. I give this a 9 out of 10. I thought it was fucking fantastic. Despite the camera work issues, I thought it was fucking great. The story was great. The build-up was great. The action was great. Even though it took a bit to build up, but it was still great. I liked the representation in this. I also liked just the interactions with the guy. Like, the guy was great. I liked it. Okay? I can't help it. I think it's really good, and I would totally watch this again. Okay. It's one of my more favorite gutsy action movies I think I've seen, honestly, in like a long time.
What action movie have I shown you?
I have to think about it. But yeah. I would give it a 9 out of 10, and I definitely recommend it. What about you?
I think the camera work for me, like, distracted it so much from it being, like, what it wanted to be was an action movie. I think that, like...
Minus that, though. Minus the camera work.
Yeah, but I can't, like, unsee that.
Well, I get it, but... I get it, but... Do you still like it despite that?
I still like it okay despite it. Maybe I'll watch it again in the future. I'll be like, okay, now I get it. But I it's not like it's not gonna have its fucking fans, because clearly it does. I don't know if that one of them is gonna be me. Maybe in future or maybe not. Who knows?
I would like to see more from this. If this decides to do more movies.
I want to watch more like international action movies. Like, to be
definitely,
honest. I want to watch the stuff that he was like inspired by, because I hear he was inspired by a lot of like Japanese hardcore like
movies,
like hardcore action Japanese films, like The Raid and I Saw the Devil and stuff like that, which is also revenge action movies.
I would totally watch those.
I would love to go and watch those to see, like, okay, just to see them. Like, just to see where he got all that inspiration from. So I would like to go see those. But in terms of this one, it's okay. Like, I like, for a directorial debut, I think it's strong, but I think there is definitely work that can be done with like, in terms of him directing. I think he put most of his most of his
all in this.
All in the acting so much. And like, you know,
I definitely want to see more from him.
Still needs some work, but I'm not saying that he can't get there without like, you know,
practice
help and stuff like that. Yeah.
But definitely I would want to see more movies from him. I think he did a fantastic job, and I would like to see more from this man. I think he could do some pretty good stuff.
But yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10.
You really give it a 5?
Yeah.
Damn.
Because right in the middle. It's not great. It's not bad.
It's just kind of indifferent.
It's good. It's good. I'm just going to say that I don't know if I'm going to fully
get into it if they do more.
Get into it if I rewatch it again. So.
But I will say this though, if he does more for this franchise, I will gladly watch more. If he ends up doing more debuts, I will also be happy about it. But I would like to see more from this. I think it'd be a good franchise. And it doesn't even have to be with his story. It could be an anthology.
Then make another movie. That doesn't have to be in a universe.
I don't know, okay?
You just make another movie.
I don't know anymore.
You can make another movie without having any involvement.
I know, but still, like, I still liked it. I can't help it.
Oh my goodness.
It's really fucking good. But anyway, sorry we haven't done a lot of videos this month, guys. We've been tired, first off, and second, we've been deep cleaning our house. Basically, we decided we're going to have to fucking spring clean the house. So, and we needed to fucking do it. We've been doing it for the last, 2 weeks, and we're, almost halfway done the house. Mm-hmm. So, we're still trying to get some more content out for you guys this month, but so far this might be one of the only ones we do. Maybe something else. Because I know we're going to try and watch some other movies. We're still working on season 2 of Ghost of Molly McGee. It's just we haven't had the time to sit down and watch the series. We've been more able to watch movies, right? Mm-hmm. But we are going to get that out hopefully soon. Same with some other movies. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. And as always, I'm Mari.
I'm Jay.
And we're out. Bye, guys.
Bye.